Here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gon' stop. We gon' turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, yo. Tell them turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last one and a courtesy call. Everybody sing, hey, yo. Tell them turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last one and a courtesy call.
Hey yo, what's good everybody? Welcome back to my channel and yeah. This what if is something interesting. I saw one person do this, but I'm gonna do mine a little bit different. And this is gonna be what if Deku had the Phantom Ruby. So yeah. So anyway, for those who play Sonic Forces or read the Forces comics or play Sonic Mania knows what the Phantom Ruby is. But for those who don't know, let me just give you an in-depth description. Like, not in-depth description, but like a basic idea of what it is. It's basically an Chaos Emerald, but it's like it didn't take the shape of the Chaos Emerald yet. It's basically a prototype Chaos Emerald, but it has its own unique abilities. Like, to give you an idea, it's basically the Infinity Stones, but in one gem, kind of. And this gem is powerful enough to where it's like it can either match, if not be more powerful than the Master Emerald, which is crazy. So, yeah. We're gonna get on to the story. Because, that's what I really after. Now, we're in the hospital, and Deku, he's in the hospital, but it's not just him. It's 5 other people. Well, 4 people actually, if you're counting Deku, but 4 people. If we're counting Deku, then it's Deku, All Might, Inko, Izumi. Yeah, Izumi and Deku are going to be twins in this. Now, another person is going to be a doctor. They're at the doctor getting a quirk exam and stuff. So basically, All Might just says straight up, "Alright, doc, tell me what quirks my kids have." He says, because he's a bit anxious, because he's All Might. And the doctor's like, "Well, they both got good quirks, great quirks even. But one stands out more than the other," said the doctor, adjusting his glasses. Well, the family got excited, especially Deku and Izumi, and they both said at the same time, "Yes, we're going to be heroes just like Mama and Papa," while they scream and jump in the air. And yes, in this one, Inko and All Might are both heroes. Yeah. So, the doctor says, "Well, let's start with you, Izuku Midoriya. Your quirk is called energy manipulation. You have infinite energy in your body. So much so, in fact, that you can charge up an entire city for months, and you will not be exhausted. But there is something wrong." As Inko says, "Wrong? What's wrong?" "He can't really use it," said the doctor, a bit worried. And as for that's a girl. She has a quirk called One for All. I don't really know what it is or what it's about. I mean, we don't have any information about it in our database either, so unless it's a family thing that we just don't know about or something, the doctor said, kind of confused. Now, the parents' eyes widen and almost like, "Seriously, One for All?" Doctor's like, "Yeah, it's." She also has a telekinesis of her mother's, said the doctor with a small smile, seeing the girl jump jumping and being praised by her parents. And the boy was kind of quiet, because he just he's like, I have this cool quirk, but I can't use it. So All Might and Inko rub Deku on the back, be like, don't worry, we're gonna help you out. In case, maybe it's just one of those things where it's like, it just needs something to awaken it. Now, keep that in mind. So, we cut to 2 months later. 2 years later. Deku, Izumi, Katsuki Bakugo, and actually no, that's just it. Katsuki Bakugo, Izumi, and Deku, they're all chilling, playing and stuff. As they're kind of, practicing together, because Bakugo, he got explosions. Izumi, she got one for all and telekinesis. Deku, they tell Bakugo that he has a pretty powerful quirk, but he needs something to awaken it, like some kind of trigger for it. And Bakugo's like, well, I can't really help you with that, but I don't know, maybe we can find some way of doing it. Maybe it's like a video game thing where you need to be a certain strength to do it, or maybe you just need to get hit really hard or get struck by lightning or something. He says as a joke. As they're like, chill, Bakugo. I'm not about to get struck by lightning, and the chances of that happening is so low. I don't think it would happen even if I wanted it to. So they're practically chilling, having fun and stuff. And they're kind of having fun still. And All Might calls in their kids, and Mitsuki, she gets Bakugo as they all leave because they're chilling in the park, So Deku and Izumi, they're training with. Well, Izumi's training with All Might, and Deku's training with Inko. Now, what All Might wants is that to have Izumi have a basic understanding of One for All. Sure, they're still kids, but it doesn't mean you can't use like a extremely tiny portion. I'm talking 0.1% of One for All. Now, even that small of a percentage is still a pretty good boost in power for a kid. So they're training and stuff, and they're going pretty hard, because they want their kids to be strong. So All Might, he's training Izumi, and she's getting somewhat with One for All, because she kind of didn't want to use it because of the one time where she punched a tree and just completely shattered her hand, and that kind of made her not want to use One for All. But All Might was like, don't be discouraged because it's gonna hurt you, because that's how you have to work for that power for you to use it. As she's smiling and stuff, but she's still kind of scared to use One for All because she knows its destructive capability if the user's not physically prepared for it. So yeah, she's training with All Might while Deku's training with Inko. He's getting some basic fighting styles done, some martial arts. So they say, this place is pretty big, but we need something bigger, somewhere wider. So they head to the beach, and Inko, Deku, Izumi, they're training and stuff, right? They're training. And as they're training, Izumi and Deku are training because, they want to see how Deku's progress and Izumi's progress are going. So they're training, and they're having a pretty decent fight because, Izumi has to hold back a bit because Deku is kind of quirkless in a way, but he's still physically strong. So they're training and stuff, and Izumi uses her telekinesis to send Deku far, and I mean far away. Like, he gets flying like 400 meters. to somewhere else as Deku, he's kind of hurt from this, but he lands in the water. And so, Izumi and Deku, they kind of laugh it off as she uses telekinesis to bring Deku back. As Alma says, okay, kids, I think that's enough. Why don't we head back home? As they're like, okay. And Deku says, oh, I'll walk my way back. I want to run my way back, training. As Alma's like, okay, but try not to be out for too long, alright? As, they fist bump and leave. As they leave, now Deku doesn't live that far away from the beach. Like, the beach and Deku's house is pretty, kind of close. So Deku is not like he's walking a long distance to get there. So Deku, he's walking as he keeps walking farther and farther out as he kind of sees this cave kind of looking area, and it's nowhere that he's ever seen before. And this happens because the ocean line of the beach, when the night comes, the sea level decreases to the point to where a cave shows up or is visible. So Deku, he being the curious kid he is, he walks into the cave. And as he walks in the cave, he shouts out, "Hello," as an echo just fills the room as bats leave the room out of the cave. So Deku, he sees a torch hanging on the ceiling. So he grabs it as he practically is walking his way down into the cave. And so Deku, he's walking and he's noticing, like, this place is beautiful. Aesthetically, yeah, it's pretty beautiful because the cave is kind of has like these crystals in it with the water forming as it kind of glistens in the water. As he keeps walking by, as he sees this red colored temple, and Deku was going to continue walking, but he ends up tripping on himself over his own legs and ends up sliding, falling in front of the entrance of the temple. Now Izuku, he got back up, dusting himself off as he kept walking. Now Izuku, being impressed by the beautiful Scarlet Temple, climbed up the stairs and saw something that scared him to death. Like, something no kid should ever see. Corpses, skeletons, dead bodies just all over the ground. From animal carcasses to human carcasses to just bodies mangled. Some bodies look fresh, some is very old, some is just completely decayed, some is skeletons. So Izuku, he says, like, what happened here? As he kind of gets the urge to throw up, but he holds it in. So he grabs one of the swords that was on the corpse's body on the ground because he didn't know what was down here. And so he wanted to stay prepared. Because Deku, he's average with a sword. It's like slightly above average. So he would continue moving through the cave until he reached the center of the temple, where there was an altar. And on this altar was this red, pink, magenta diamond that was just shrouding in light, and it was sounded like, to Deku, sounded like it was humming, like as if it was talking to him, as if it was alive. Now, another pretty cool thing of the Phantom Ruby is that it can read what the user ultimately desires. Now, what Deku desires is that he wants to be a hero. So Deku, he sees this sword, and the sword has a red edge with a black handle to it. And Deku, he takes a step, but is looking at a red circle with strange letters or strange characteristic letters on it. But for some reason he can know exactly what it says, and he's actually able to read it. And the note says, only those destined for the Phantom Ruby can use this power to their convenience. Since this power must not be fallen into the wrong hands, or catastrophic events will happen that might end up destroying the world and everything as we know it. Now, Deku, he reads this as the gem is glowing a bright magenta in his face as it floats to him into his hand. As it goes, as it's kind of like surging through his body, he feels the energy rising. He feels it coming everywhere in his body until the gem sits in the center of his palm as he's just holds his hand up to the horizon, and from this a small magic circle, then boom, a magenta energy beam came out, destroying everything in his path. And Izuku is surprised by this, as his face, he gets a serious look, happy, sad, well, mostly happy, serious. It kind of looks like he's sad, but he's actually tears of happiness as he's sniffing himself. With this power, I can be a hero, he says to himself. So he begins to float up to the giant crater that his attack left, as he's like, so this is the awakening that they was talking about. This is what my power needed, he says, as he feels the Phantom Ruby reacting to his energy manipulation. And to Deku, it feels like a perfect fit to him. So, I'm going to end it right here. Yeah. So, tell me what you guys think. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, and yeah. And tomorrow I'm gonna have a Halloween what if, so stay tuned for that. And so yeah, with that being said, I'm out. Peace, everybody.